Hey there, it's Elena again. After my father, Thomas, and my stepmom, Evangeline, pleaded for help to revive their dying business and assist my half-siblings, Marie and Andrew, with their schooling, I took a few days to stay by the old house where I grew up. Memories of my mom still walked the halls of that little wooden shack. As I contemplated whether to forgive them and help, I remembered my mom, how sweet, loving, and forgiving she was. After spending a few days reflecting on my life and my past, I decided to forgive them. I went over to their house to share the good news. I told them that I would give them some money to start up a new company and dissolve the one that was already failing. I also agreed to pay for Marie and Andrew's schooling, but I made it clear that I would be heading back to the city to continue my career. Before I left, my father asked for my contact information, to which I had no problem giving. I wished them well and headed back to the city. I gave them my number, hoping they'd use it responsibly, but as time passed, their demands became more frequent. They started visiting me in the city, each time asking for more. Life in the city was busy. I was constantly in the studio, working on new music and managing my growing career. One day, I heard a knock on my door. It was Evangeline, Marie, and Andrew.
Alayna, we're here to visit. We miss you. How's everything going?
Marie, standing at the doorway, looking around my apartment, scanning up and down. She smiled and said,
"Wow, sis, you've made it big. This place is amazing."
"Hi everyone, it's nice to see you. Come in." With a warm and genuine smile, Andrew approached me, greeted me, and gave me a warm hug. This was the first time in my life someone from my family has hugged me since my mother died.
Hey Elena, it's great to see you again. I'm really sorry for everything in the past. I hope we can move forward.
I welcomed them in, trying to be polite and hoping the visit would be brief, but soon I realized they had other plans. Days turned into weeks, and Marie started slacking off in school. She was more concerned about attaching herself to my lifestyle. Evangeline was always scheming, trying to find ways to get more money from me.
Alayna, you have so much now. It's not fair that we always have to ask for money. You could just help us out regularly.
Yeah, sis, I've been thinking. Why not let me move in with you? I can learn about the music industry and maybe join your team.
Feeling a bit overwhelmed, I responded, "I understand, but I can't just give out money like that. Haven't I done enough? What happened to the investments you guys have? And Marie, you need to focus on your studies."
Studies? Come on, Alayna, she's your younger sister. She can learn so much more from being around you, and you'll have family around to watch out for you. Think about it, Alayna. It's a win-win situation.
Mom, please stop. Sister has done enough for us. Let's just be thankful and allow her be. Elena, I know this is a lot to ask. I just want to spend time with you and make up for the past. I'm not here for anything else.
Andrew's sincerity touched me, but Evangeline and Marie's constant demands were draining. I needed to find a way to balance this new relationship without losing myself. I started noticing things missing from my apartment, small amounts of money, jewelry, and even some of my music equipment. I had a feeling who was behind it but didn't want to believe it. One evening, Evangeline approached me.
Alayna, we need more money for the business. Things aren't going well, and we're on the verge of losing everything again.
Marie stood in the corner, pouting, with her judging eyes and entitlement tone. I responded in a frustrated and overwhelmed tone. "I've given you enough to get back on your feet. I will not give you another cent, so figure it out. It's time you started managing things on your own. What is Father saying about this? And Marie, you need to focus on school. But if you choose otherwise, then that's your choice. I want no part of whatever you do from now on. I've done my best as a big sister for you." Growing impatient, Evangeline bursted out,
You owe us, Alayna. After everything we did for you, the least you can do is support us now.
At this point, I was furious. "Everything you did for me? You mean the years of mistreatment? I've helped you out of compassion, not obligation." Andrew, sensing the growing tension, stepped in and tried to calm everyone down.
Elena, please don't be upset. I'm sorry for what's happening. Just ignore Mom and Marie. They're just being silly. You've been nice to us and you don't owe us anything. I just want us to be a family.
After that day, I stayed on my own, focused on my music career and my other businesses. I frequently met up with Marcus, and on one of the occasions, I discussed what was going on in the household, and he advised me to be careful, and that based on what I told him, he suspected that something was going on. He said to me,
Elena, be careful. Remember, these are the same people that would starve you, that would let you sleep in an old home by yourself as a 7-year-old. They never cared if you ate or if you went to school. They never even tried, and all of a sudden, they are overly nice. They've moved into your apartment, living off your resources and demanding for money constantly. I'm not saying not to help your relatives, definitely do, but be very careful. They're definitely up to something. Even if your two siblings and your father are not capable of hurting you, your stepmother definitely has it in her. She is the architect behind all of the abuse you went through. So be careful, and I suggest that you have someone watch your stepmother, Evangeline, and watch your father, Thomas. They're definitely up to something. And in the same breath, watch your sister, Marie. The only one who seems to be genuine at this moment is your brother, Andrew. He might be the only one who doesn't know what's going on. The fact that your stepmom, Evangeline, and your sister, Marie, are now treating him badly. So therefore, it's definitely something all of them are in. And Andrew is definitely on the outside because they would have been a team if he knew what they were up to.
I thank Marcus for his wisdom and his insight into what might be going on, and I ask him to help me surveil Evangeline, my sister Marie, and my father, Thomas, which he gladly agreed. We continue to have our drinks, after which I return home. One afternoon, I was in my office when Andrew rushed in, panting and frantic.
Alayna, I need to talk to you. I overheard Mom and Marie plotting in the kitchen when I returned from school early. They're planning to poison a drink and offer it to you.
I was in shock. What? Why?
I don't know all the details, but they want you out of the way to take everything you own. I knew I had to tell you because, despite everything, you've been kind and generous to us. You don't deserve this.
Andrew's words cut deep. Despite the pain, I knew I had to act fast. I called my friend Marcus and repeated what Andrew told me. He promised to notify the authorities just in case anything went wrong. When I got home, Evangeline was making dinner and kept insisting that I have a drink. I refused and confronted her. Evangeline, I know you've poisoned the drink, I said, tears streaming down my face. Why do you hate me so much? Why do you want to take what I've worked so hard for? At that moment, Thomas walked in. He saw the commotion and, without understanding what was happening, grabbed the poisoned drink and began to drink it. Andrew rushed over and knocked the glass out of his hand.
Dad, no, it's poisoned. I overheard Mom and Marie plotting to kill Elena. They poisoned the drink.
Thomas started coughing, and I called for emergency help. The cops that Marcus had sent over arrived first and rushed him to the hospital. There, he was treated and admitted. He had consumed some poison, but not a fatal amount. Evangeline and Marie were taken into custody for questioning. Now it was their word against Andrew's. Andrew recounted what he had overheard in the kitchen, prompting him to warn me. Both Evangeline and Marie were charged for their crimes and were sentenced. Thomas spent a few months in the hospital before being released. Upon his release, he was no longer welcome in my home. It was just Marcus, Andrew, and I. Despite everything, I still ensured my father was taken care of but kept him at a distance. While he was in the hospital, I found out from my financial advisor that he had been sneaking around, trying to take my properties from me before he drank the poison that day. Evangeline's hatred for me stemmed from her desire for Thomas. She had always stayed close to him, even while he was married to my mother. The hatred she had for my mother transferred to me, and she corrupted Thomas into mistreating his own daughter. Thomas was never a good person, but at least he treated me well while my mom was alive. He had an affair with Evangeline the entire time my mother was on her sickbed. In the end, Andrew finished school, went to college, and became a lawyer. He remained close to me as the only family member I could trust. My music career continued to blossom, and I thrived and grew, remaining good friends with Marcus. I continued to take care of my father from afar, sending him a monthly allowance and ensuring he had someone to help with house chores and whatever he needed, but he never saw me again. I was comforted knowing I hadn't lost everyone. I had Andrew, and I was fulfilled. So you see, in the end, I did give my family a second, even a third chance, and I almost lost my life as a result. Luckily, my brother Andrew had broken free from his mother, Evangeline, and sister Marie's negative influences and turned a new leaf. Otherwise, I'd be a goner. My father is still the same as he's always been, wicked and greedy. What I've realized throughout the course of my investigation, after all the horrific stuff unfolded, is that fateful day when Thomas rushed into my office to give me the heartbreaking news. The family that has been a source of terror my entire life, that I turned around and forgave and decided to help in every way that someone can be helped, wanted me gone so they could access my properties. I realized that the family that I craved and so desperately wanted did not have to be the family I shared DNA with, but the family that I've created for myself. My best friend Marcus, my friends in the music industry who have stood by me, who have cheered me on from the sidelines, who were always there to pull me up whenever I was at a low. Somewhere along the line, I forgot that. In my desperate desire for the love of my father and my family, I forgot that I already had a family that loved and accepted me just the way I am, without restriction, without having to do anything for them. They loved and accepted me. Andrew, my little brother, has made me so proud. I could not have asked for a better sibling. He, too, has distanced himself from our father, Thomas. His strength and integrity have been a beacon of hope for me during this time. So in the end, I've decided to let go and stop trying to differ my birth family from their wicked nature and instead embrace the family I've created, which included Andrew and Marcus. Family is who shows up when you need them. When you're in a jam, they make sure you get through whatever you're going through. So once again, thank you for listening to my story.
Now, wasn't that a beautiful story? Here's some lessons one can take away from Elena's story is the importance of recognizing and appreciating the family and support systems we create for ourselves. When the family you're born into rejects you, create the family that you deserve. Blood relations are not the only source of love and loyalty. True family consists of those who stand by you, support you, and lift you up in times of need. Elena's journey teaches us to value the people who genuinely care for us and to set boundaries with those who bring negativity into our lives. If you like this story, remember to subscribe, like, share, and turn the notification bell on to stay updated. And remember, always be kind. You never know when the person you look down on may turn around and pull you up in the future. Until next time, take care.